So, how is everyone? I hope you are all well on this fantastic Friday. We made it! We made it, everyone! We made it. It's Friday. What a week. What a week. You're looking absolutely amazing, by the way. This is video 1 of 2. And for this video, and I'm going to get straight into it because this is a big one. I'm going to read you an email because this email stemmed from the video that I did yesterday. And it's an interesting situation because this raises some real important points. Now, I'm not going to tell you who sent the email. I'm just going to tell you that we're going to say his name is Dave. And Dave sent me an email because yesterday I said, what do we know about the Bryan Kohberger case? Really know about it? And I said, we don't really know a lot. And he was right when he said, you're not actually that accurate because there is a lot of things that we do know. I'm going to go through them. And he raises a very valid point in here about why Bryan Kohberger was potentially targeted by law enforcement. So look, these are the things that we know. So there is zero evidence in Bryan Kohberger's car. Zero evidence found. Zero evidence from the apartment. Zero evidence from the parents' house. And what I'm talking about in terms of evidence and what I'm guessing Dave is referencing here is evidence to connect Bryan Kohberger to the crime. Now, there's obviously things that raise eyebrows, and I'm going to touch on some bits and pieces later on, which are 20 things that are, is it 20 or is it 10? Possibly 10. I think it's 10 things that are thought of as fact, but they're not fact. So keep your eyes peeled for that video. But anyway, right. So zero evidence identifying of BK car in Payne's PCA. So what he's saying is in the PCA, there's nothing really that truly identifies Bryan Kohberger's car in connection with the crime. Zero evidence of stalking one of the victims. And they've basically stated that he wasn't stalking. And if you think that he was, you're wrong, because there's no evidence of it. Zero evidence of communications with the victims. And this is something that Bill Thompson brought up specifically in terms of messaging. So there's nothing, no connection there whatsoever between Bryan Kohberger and the victims, right? So zero evidence of questioning or a buccal swab long before the arrest. Everything seems to have happened after the arrest. FBI's CAST tools reliability remains not determined. No calls by anyone until 11:58 p.m. if true. We're talking about the 8-hour time delay. 11:58 a.m. the following day. Concealment by law enforcement of 3 male DNA profiles, especially the pair found in the immediate area of the crime scene, which we have questioned this time and time again. Judge has reviewed DNA results with DNA experts and concluded the results favour the defendant. This was on the 17th of November 2022. It wasn't possible the FBI completed STR profile in their proclaimed time frame. Other than Othram performed their SMP work and after an unidentified lab mentioned also. Question: is prosecution arguing any of the aforementioned list that we've just raised? BK moved from Pennsylvania to Washington, and knowing a missing deceased woman was found not far from Mr. and Mrs. Kohberger's home. They were subpoenaed by a grand jury. Let's not forget that. The FBI believed that they were aware of a possible interstate serial killer involved in all 5 victims. They obviously came up empty-handed, so fact is we know a lot. Knowing there is missing evidence of the Elantra very near or at the KR house, why would this have been excluded the King Road house, that is. If law enforcement believed BK was responsible, Batona's statement word for word, "It has become known to me there are portions of exculpatory evidence to the defendant." This was with respect of Bethany Funk, remember. So portions of evidence reveals more than once Funk had knowledge of things she saw and things she heard, know only by her and cannot be provided by any other witness. This also indicates there was more than one witness. One location for the knife or any sheath for the knife would likely be found in the suspect's apartment. What do we understand? It just goes on. But I think this person raised a very valid point. So there are certain things that we do know. On the grander scheme of things, I think we've still got a lot to learn, but he's right in what he said in terms of we do actually know a lot. And there's a lot of things that don't seem right in this case. And there's a lot of things that we do need to question. And these are answers that hopefully will come to fruition later on as time progresses. Maybe if this gets to trial and all these questions will be answered, but they do need to be answered. And the concern is, will we have a conclusion based on circumstantial evidence that has been hand-fed to an incredibly scared, biased, angry, upset public? But with respect of the FBI's involvement in this case, which legal representation, not his representation, but people who are involved in the law, Andrea Burkhart, for instance, she has stated that it's unusual in this situation for the FBI to be involved to this extent. Now, is it possible that law enforcement, FBI, screwed this up from the start? Did they indeed believe that Bryan Kohberger was tied into another crime, and is that what set the ball rolling in terms of looking at Bryan Kohberger in the first place? And is it that they investigated him, they believed this was the person who did this crime, and the whole lot fell apart, and they're trying to patch things up under the radar? I don't know. Something doesn't sit right here. Something doesn't sit right. I'm very uncomfortable. And if you're someone who truly believes in truth and justice and the right person being caught and punished for this crime, then this person raises some very valid questions with respect of what we know, what things are missing, what's seemingly being hidden. The thing is why? Why is it being hidden? And is it indeed because FBI screwed something up? They believed that they'd found the right guy, and it all fell apart right at the beginning when this other grand jury. We've heard that, haven't we? We've heard about grand juries being involved in the federal grand jury and things like this involved. Did they fuck this up? Let me know down below what you think, and I'll catch you all in the next one.